What's going on, you guys? Big75 here, aka Vince Salerno. Today I'm doing another trailer reaction, this time on the first official trailer for the movie Downsizing. Now, this is a movie that's very important to me because it is directed by Alexander Payne, who is a Nebraska native. I was born and raised in Nebraska. I'm actually like half an hour away from Nebraska as we speak as I'm making this. Alexander Payne's never done sci-fi before, so this is a new one for him, an exciting one for me, being a big sci-fi nut. Downsizing imagines what might happen if, as a solution to overpopulation, Norwegian scientists discover how to shrink humans to 5 inches. People soon realize how much further money goes in a miniaturized world. Everyman Paul Schranke? Paul, whatever. Everyman Paul, played by Matt Damon, and his wife Audrey, Kristen Wiig, decide to abandon their stressed lives in Omaha. Omaha, they're living in Omaha, that's awesome. In order to become small and move into a new downsized community. A choice that triggers life-changing adventures. So yeah, interesting premise. I knew it was about shrinking. It was kind of like Ant-Man meets Twilight Zone, or it kind of has this sort of Black Mirror feel to it, but it's a lot more comedic and dramatic, I think. Then I don't know. Black Mirror gets really weird and dramatic sometimes too. So I don't know. All I know is that it's two of my favorite Hollywood artists, Alexander Payne and Matt Damon, working on something together. Could not be happier about this. So let's watch the trailer and see what we're into. Number 26 on trending. That's pretty impressive. Okay. All right, here we go. The first trailer for Downsizing. I'm downsizing myself.
The cause of all the catastrophes we are seeing today is overpopulation. We're proud to unveil
Not entirely true, but it's a movie. Calm down, Vince.
Humanity's greatest problem. Are you ready, Doctor?
Yes, I'm ready.
Small dude, as expected.
Wow, that is.
He's wearing an Omaha Steak shirt. That's so cool.
That's Dave Johnson.
Hey, everybody.
And Carol. He never struck me as the kind of guy who'd go get small.
Downsizing takes the pressure right off.
Oh wow!
You're really making
I love the set.
You mean all that
setup.
crap about saving the planet?
Very Midwest-like.
Downsizing is about saving yourself. We live like kings. Got
That's
best
cool.
houses, best restaurants, Cheesecake Factory. Got 3 of them.
In Leisureland, your 52,000
Oh, that's really cool. It's a miniature home. Literally mini homes.
to live on for life.
Recognize that actress?
Do you understand that you will undergo the permanent and irreversible medical procedure commonly known as downsizing, and that your bodies will be approximately 0.0364% of their current mass and volume?
Nervous?
Little.
Wow.
See you on the other side.
Matt Damon is such a like everyday Midwest man. It's not even funny. I love it. Oh, he lost his hair. Didn't know he'd lose hair. That's weird. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Interesting. Oh, they got the rings. Sign the contract and the flowers. Christoph Waltz. Nice. Don't know her. I know him. Obviously, I know her.
The small world is filled with things to see.
Is that mostly Neil Patrick Harris?
Sometimes you think we're in the normal world. And something happens.
Oh my god.
And you realize that?
Oh my gosh. That's great. A big world is waiting this Christmas. Sure is. That's awesome. Alright, so yeah, this is basically what I expected from an Alexander Payne movie. It has that very homey Midwest feel to it, but it still feels almost unworldly. It has sort of hints of like Walter Mitty, some of his previous films like Nebraska, or even Sideways, and even Up in the Air, which is actually, now I think about it, Up in the Air is not a film directed by him, but it takes place in Nebraska, at least parts of it. The plot's pretty clear, as I say with the synopsis. The world has realized that overpopulation is the issue. Too many people making babies. Personally, I disagree. I say keep making babies, make as many babies as you can, because life is an awesome thing. Anyways, a way to solve this is to shrink people so they can, so there's more room for everybody, I guess, in the country, and they get to live in these fancy houses that are miniaturized. There's a really cool shot in the trailer, let me find it, of them looking out at this, just like, it looks like a mini town, like one of those displays, like the train, you know, like the train sets you set up, but it's all in this like really small Lego set, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Or a small train running around in the glass displays, whatever you call those, I don't remember what they're called, stretching for hundreds of miles. And it's just really cool to see that, being a big fan of toys and stuff, and that's just what I think of immediately. There's the chick from that Scream Queen show, the black chick who's a police officer, recognize her, she's a great actress. She's in this. The whole cast, pretty loaded. Once again, as I said, Matt Damon, one of my favorite actors of all time. Kristen Wiig, who's great in everything, most everything, I guess, is in this. Christoph Waltz is in this. Jason Sudeikis. I saw Neil Patrick Harris in there, but he wasn't credited, so I wonder if his role is very small and almost cameo-like. The big takeaway, though, is just Matt Damon. He fits that Midwest, small-town Midwest everyday man look. I remember when they were shooting this movie in Omaha, and I was like a week after I went back home for college in California, and it pissed me off so much because Alexander Payne and Matt Damon were both in Nebraska shooting on a street. I knew exactly where they were when the news report came out, and I'm like, damn it! I could have been there. I could have met those people. I could have been on that set. Something is just not meant to be. It's okay. Totally okay. Let's see, what else? So, the shrinking process is something that got me a little curious. It looks like they lose their hair when they do it, which is kind of cool, interesting, weird, I guess. I didn't expect them to do that. It looks like it grows back. I wonder what the deal is with that. Maybe it's like it's a temporary side effect. You lose your hair temporarily and then it grows back. There's a scene where Matt Damon's checking for, I guess, the size of his Johnson. Wondering if maybe that stayed larger. Or maybe if it shrunk. I don't know. I don't really need to know what's going on down there. He can look at that all he wants. I don't need to go down there. That's okay. It's coming out in Christmas, as a title card says. Trying to look it through more things. Yeah, it's interesting, the song that's playing. It's like, you may find yourself in a fancy house and having all these things, and you might find yourself that something's wrong. I'm not doing the song justice, but that's kind of how it goes. So I'm wondering if it's like they think this is the future and they do it, and then they realize that they made a terrible mistake and they're paying the consequences. Looks like there is a contract that he has to sign. Paul Norris Safrank is he's a defendant. Maybe some legal things going down. This matter came before the court. See if I can figure out what this says. In the blah blah blah, his decree of yeah, it really isn't that clear, but this is interesting. So maybe Matt Damon's trying to get out and out of the world. They get shrunk back to normal size, even though they say they can't do that. It's irreversible. He's carrying a big flower into a hallway. Christoph Waltz looks like he's got this like old party boy attitude to him. He's gonna like show Matt Damon and maybe Kristen Wiig, you know, how to enjoy this new lifestyle. Some really cool shots of some super big flowers. That was probably one of the most striking things. Is I was really curious to see how they would portray size and how you know, how Garth Edwards in Star Wars, he has a great way to showing depth and size comparisons, like with Godzilla and the little Imperial ship flying over the planets and stuff like that in Star Wars Rogue One. I love the image of Matt Damon looking up at these dandelions or these flowers and just being massive. I hope we get that feel when we watch this movie, that we are small in this normal size, but to them, large world. It's just a really great image. Okay, so Neil Patrick Harris's character looks like he's a house salesman. He's standing next to, oh, maybe he's like one of the guys that's like pitching the idea. He's standing outside a house and they're opening it up. So maybe this is like the pitch for the downsizing and the props that it comes with. You get really fancy houses. There's this really funny shot where you see these winding mountains and you point, there's this arrow that points to this really tiny little ship, and you see that they're sailing. I mean, of course, when you look at it at face value, it doesn't look small, but I'm assuming they're probably like really small. I'm noticing Kristen Wiig isn't in a lot of the shots when Matt Damon is shrunk, so maybe she died in the process? I don't know. I'm curious to see what that's about. There's a shot of people in line to, there's like a little dispenser attached to this giant vodka bottle. That's really humorous. I like that. Yeah, not much else to say really. I'm sold on this movie. I want to go see this movie really bad. As I said, I'm a huge fan of Alexander Payne. I've been a fan of most of his movies, Nebraska, The Descendants being a couple of them. I love that he comes back to Omaha to film parts of his movies, or all of his movies. You know, this is a really interesting thing. It's combining all my favorite things: Omaha, Nebraska, Matt Damon, Alexander Payne, science fiction, comedy, and meshing it all into this really unique film, which, as I've said, has hints of Walter Mitty, Up in the Air, other Alexander Payne films, and I am really intrigued. I mean, I don't really need to see another trailer. I think this is the perfect introduction to get people into the theater. Hopefully it makes a lot of money. It's getting some pretty decent reviews right now, going through film festivals, early releases, so yeah, I'm ready to get downsized. Hopefully that becomes a thing. They better put that on the poster. Get downsized this Christmas. It's probably not going to happen, but anyways. Alright, well, thank you all for watching this trailer reaction. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button over here, I think. Yeah, the like button over here, and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can check out my short films, trailer reacts, and more episodes of the Vince Salerno podcast. I got 2 episodes that are on the back burner with JJ Schindler talking about his film he produced, Arc, and Susie Duenas' movie La Oportunidad, which she directed and wrote. Both I've seen. Arc is a visual splendor. La Oportunidad is just perfect from beginning to end. I cannot wait for you guys to see these podcast episodes. they're the most fun I've had on the podcast for the past year and a quarter-ish, whatever. Alright, thank you all for watching. Have a great day. God bless, and peace out.